Hello dear students, as we had discussed yesterday, the next topic that we have to learn is about the East India Company, the coming of Europeans to India. So, the era of geographical discovery was started by Spain and Portugal. So, you have learned about Renaissance. During that period, many sea routes were discovered, many voyages were made. Okay, so in that we have learned about Vasco da Gama who found the sea route to India. So in fact the discovery of the sea route from Europe to India via the Cape of Good Hope in 1498 was one of the main achievement. Okay, this gave the Europeans an independent route to India. So the Portuguese, the French and the British, they all started to come to India. So first the Portuguese established their trade centers in India, and when they came here they flourished. Okay, so here you can see the picture of Vasco da Gama. Okay, so seeing the success of the French and the Portugal here in their trades with India, this made the Britain also to be attracted towards trade in India. So by a royal charter granted by Queen Elizabeth I, the British East India Company was established. This charter gave the East India Company the sole right to trade with India. And what was the aim of this East India Company? It was to buy goods from the Orient at a cheap rate. That is, they will buy goods at a cheap rate from India and they will sell those goods in England at higher prices. Now coming of the East India Company. Sir Thomas Roe obtained the right to trade from Mughal ruler Jahangir. So Thomas Roe came and asked Jahangir, you know, he gave the right to the British company to start their trade in India. Soon British factories were established along the east and west coast of India. The first British factory was established on the banks of river Hooghly. In Calcutta, in 1651 they established their first British factory. Then they slowly started growing. Growth of East India Company. The British came to India as traders, but soon they tried to slowly conquer the whole India. At that time, you had studied in your previous lesson that the Mughal Empire was slowly declining because of their infights, because of their weak rulers. Okay, they were fighting amongst each other. There were so many reasons why the Mughal Empire came down. So it was the same time when the British came and they started establishing their rule here. So first they came as traders, but slowly they started to conquer places. Okay, they came to the Mughal Empire emperors. They came and approached them and found their favors, and slowly they took them in their team, and that is how they started winning other small places. So the gradual decline of Mughal Empire at that time was advantageous to the British. They expanded the trade by setting up a number of factories. So their number of factories increased and slowly they started gaining control. So Bengal was a hot spot here. Bengal was a part of the Mughal Empire. So, but later on the Nawabs of Bengal had become independent. So you must have studied in the earlier part of the chapter. You can just go through it. So Bengal, the Nawabs, they became independent. So now what happened? The British and the French had their settlements in Bengal and were keen on establishing their trade there. So they talked to the Nawabs, but the Nawabs knew that it is very dangerous to let these British people uh, set up their factories and try to gain control. They will slowly take control. They knew it. So they exercised strict control over the British. And they didn't allow any political ambitions of the Britishers to be successful. So then later on, there was a Nawab called Sirajuddaulah. Okay, he became the Nawab of Bengal in 1756. So he was also a strict person. He didn't allow the British to come and do trade there. So the British were misusing their trade titles. So Sirajuddaulah asked the British to pull down their fortification, to take away every establishment from that place and just leave. So Sirajuddaulah was the first Nawab to oppose the British directly. So what happened? Sirajuddaulah and Clive, okay, they talked over this thing, and Sirajuddaulah said, you have to take away all your fortifications from his place. So Clive and the East India Company, they all decided that they should find a person who is more favorable to the East India Company. So slowly what they did, they got hold of some people who were not very happy with Sirajuddaulah, like Mir Jafar. He was one of the generals. Another one is Durlab. Mir Jafar and Durlab were the generals at that time. Then a Manik Chand, who was an officer in charge, Amit Chand, the rich merchant, and Jagat Seth. So they joined together in the conspiracy. So what was the conspiracy? That they had to remove Sirajuddaulah. So you can see Sirajuddaulah and Mir Jafar in this picture. So they finally what happened? They all joined the Britishers to in their conspiracy to remove Sirajuddaulah from the position of Nawab. So as a result of the conspiracy of the British along with Mir Jafar and the other people who were mentioned earlier, they all joined together, and there was a battle which was fought against Sirajuddaulah. So Sirajuddaulah became weak because many of the people from inside, they had joined the British people. So this Battle of Plassey was the battle which was fought in Plassey in 1757. The British forces met with the Nawab's forces, and because of the treachery of Mir Jafar, Nawab Sirajuddaulah lost the battle. And in that battle he tried to flee, but he was captured and killed. Now this Battle of Plassey is one of the most important battles in the history of India. So you should understand what is the importance of this battle. It gave way for the rule of the British Empire in India for 100 years. So the first defeat that the Indians faced in Bengal in the Battle of Plassey, that gave way, that opened the way for the British Empire to start their rule. The vast resources of India was now in the hands of the British, and that helped them to fight against the French in the south. So slowly, when British people they came here, they wanted to remove all the French and Portuguese people who were trying to establish themselves in India. So when they got the vast resources, okay, all the money and the power, when they got it, they were able to fight against the French in the south. Then results of the battle, final result was that Mir Jafar was proclaimed as the Nawab of Bengal because he sided the British people during the Battle of Plassey. He was made the Nawab of Bengal and gave the company the right to trade with Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. So he opened the gates for them to trade. The company received the zamindari of 24 parganas near Calcutta. So a large piece of land, they got the zamindari of that place. The company also received 1 crore and 77 lakhs as compensation for the attack. Later on, Mir Jafar, although he was loyal to the British, but he became fed up with the interference of the company in all matter of Bengal. So when there was too much of interference, Mir Jafar became very unhappy because now his status was only he was a puppet in the hands of the British. He had to do, puppet means he had to do whatever they tell. Okay, so he could not have any independent decision of his own. So he objected the British. But now it was too late because British was already set, they had set their hearts to conquer India. So they wanted to remove all the obstacles in their path. So Mir Jafar was now an obstacle in their path. So they removed him and made Mir Qasim, his son-in-law, as the new Nawab. So these are the results of the battle. And later on, because of all the politics, you will see more battle coming up. So the next battle will be Battle of Buxar. So we will be studying about that in the next class.